Good morning. This is your alarm clock. This is your alarm clock for a wonderful day here at Crafters TV. My name is Becky. It's lush to be with you. We have got a really fantabulous day for you ahead. We truly do. We are going to be bringing to you so many treats and goodies, including a bit of a 101 with our Gemini. We've got some interlace and so much more to come. I've also got our Showtime surprise. So, Showtime surprise we have got for you today, and the Showtime surprise is a discount code. For the first time, here it is. It is our exclusive Crafters TV discount code. If you're going to be wanting to use this code today, it is one per person and it's giving you an extra 10% off. So we've already got 10% discount on our Geminis, but then you get an extra 10% off with that code. The code is capital letters well, it's not capital letters, it's CTV10. So do feel free to use it. Capital letters. No, CTV10 is your code today. So do feel free to seize the moment on that. I'm not alone, thank goodness. We have got with us today the lovely Corrine. Corrine, what have we got on the show?
We have got so much on the show. As you mentioned, we've got all of the machines. Absolutely fantastic. This is my first masterclass on Geminis. This is my first Gemini 101, so it's going to be
exciting.
Really good fun. But then we're going to have a glue school. We're going to talk about the craft storage. We've got so much. Our masterclass is going to be brilliant. But we've also got some fantastic dies. You mentioned the interlace, so I've got these beautiful interlace dies. So this is the one I love, the interlace die. And we've paper pieced it here. Now you wouldn't be able to do that if you didn't have your right Gemini machine. So they were going to be talking about this all the time. And you're also going to need the right glue to be able to do that. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Or how about putting it on some acetate? Isn't that beautiful? That's our beautiful bird cage. Or you could put it like that one if you wanted to. So many different effects. Now we've also got our shadow sentiments, which I love. So we're going to look at these first thing this morning. And what they do is you do 2 stamps and then a die cut to cut out the word, and you get this beautiful shadow effect. Isn't that 3-dimensional? It really looks like it's popping off the screen. So off that card, I love those. So those are our shadow sentiments. And these next ones I've never seen before. These are our silhouette florals. Now, I love these. Now, if you want to get your pens and inks out, you can colour them as much as you like. You know me, I love my florals. I'm always going to be putting a little bit of a floral element onto my cards. But my first demo, I'm just going to cut them out in black and show you how beautiful they look just in black.
Perfect. That sounds great. We've got a lot to look forward to today then, don't we? So do not forget, we have got some Geminis for you today. And when I say some, I mean all the Geminis. We have got for you a massive selection. Let's have a little nosy through at them now. So I'm going to start off by bringing to you the Gemini Pro. This is Pro, not because you have to be a professional to use it, but because the quality of it is so fantastic. It's our larger one that we bring to you that is available for you today. It is UK only at this moment in time though. As well as that, I have got the OG or original Gemini. This one here is seriously versatile. It's the one that we have out on our craft expert desk the majority of the time. And again today, that discount saving for you is fabulous. Not only that, we are bringing to you the Junior. So this is great if you've got maybe like a smaller workspace. Maybe you aren't lucky enough to have a craft room and you've got more like a craft corner. This is going to be a great one for you. All of the power, but not as large in size. We have also got for you the Gemini Go. Now this is your portable one. It is in North American machine only, I'm afraid, so you can only get this in the US, but it's a portable one. So maybe if you want to be doing craft fairs, craft shows, etc., that's the one to go for. And I have also got the mini mighty but powerful. This is a manual die cutting machine. So if you want something where you don't have to plug it in, maybe you like going camping and crafting, for example, this is a great one, as is there's the mini for you. And again, it is your manual for you. And you've got the MIDI as well. The MIDI, again, same sort of concept, a little bit of a variation in size. We will look at all of those individually as we go on throughout the show. And do not forget that this is not our show, this is our show. So do feel free to get in touch with us. What were you up to at the weekend? Feel free to let us know. It is, here in the UK, start of National Beard Week. So maybe you'd like to let us know something to do with your beard. Maybe you want to let us know your favourite bearded singer. Your go-to bearded singer, for example, I don't know, who's got a really good beard? Rag and Bone Man, he's got a cracking beard, hasn't he? But yeah, do feel free to let us know what you're up to and let us know if you are crafting today. Of course, you can get in touch on our socials at the bottom of the screen. We have got so many goodies coming up for you today, and do not forget about that fabulous code as well. If you do want to seize the moment on the treats today, we're definitely in the right place. We're going to be talking first off about our Gemini machine. Now this is our die cutting and embossing machine. When you purchase the machine, it doesn't come alone. It comes with a box full of goodies. And I always think of them really as like little sweet extras. We have got so much to talk about with these, so let's head on over now to Corrine. Corrine, Gemini, why do we love?
So Gemini, as the name suggests, Gemini, we all know Gemini is twins. So we call it the Gemini because it not only cuts but it embosses as well. It's a marvellous machine. I'm just trying to make sure that you can actually see it. I've got so many machines on the counter. There we go, you can see it. Now this is the regular, so this was the first Gemini that we brought you, and it's an absolutely fantastic machine. Honestly, there isn't another machine on the market that is as powerful as this machine. It's never going to let you down. You're going to get perfect results, whether you are die cutting, whether you're embossing, whether you're die cutting and embossing, whether you're doing 2D, 3D, it's entirely up to you. But it's the simplest machine that you're going to need. Now, let me see, there we go. You're going to get these, there should be an embossing sheet as well. I'll find you that one in, there it is, I can see it. There we go, it's just put in here. So when you get your machine, as Rebecca said, you're going to get so many extra bits. So you're going to get 2 of your clear plates. Now you can just about see what a clear plate looks like. It looks like that. These have been used. This one a little bit more, but you can see on here it is totally clear when you get it. Don't worry about those marks, they don't impact its cutting ability at all. You're going to get a plastic shim. You're going to try and use the right terms so that when you look in your little manual you will recognise them. You're going to get your magnetic shim, you're going to get your rubber embossing mat, and you're going to get your metal cutting plate. Now, I know it might sound a little bit daunting, but please don't be put off by it, because when you get yours, you're going to get your little book. And in your little user guide, it tells you thin metal dies, intricate dies, multimedia, embossing with dies, embossing with 2D folders, 3D folders, and cut and emboss folders. So you've got all of those. And if I can see it in my little bag, my top tip for you is to do, there we go, like I have done. And that is my little, that stays in my craft bag. Always in my craft bag. So if ever I forget, if I haven't used something recently, then I've got that in my little craft bag so that I've got it. So it's just a little summary. So it's entirely up to you. Now, we're not going to cut straight away with our metal shim, but I will use it to show you. And we're not going to use our rubber sheet at the moment, embossing sheet, but I will show you again in a minute. So let's start with these 4 plates. And these are the 4 plates that you're going to use the most. 2 cutting plates, plastic, and metallic and magnetic. So straightforward, easiest combination. We're going to do a really straightforward cut. This is a regular die. It's not a deep dish die or anything like that. It's just a regular die. I'm going to put that on there so it goes cardstock and die onto my clear cutting, so you can see it's on there. It looks like I've just put it on the glass mat, but I haven't. Then I'm going to put my magnetic shim on. Then I'm going to put my plastic shim. The order of those two really doesn't matter, won't impact at all. And then I'm going to put my second cutting mat on. So I'm going to pop that up to the machine. It goes in, the shortest length feeds in, so that you've got the long length in there. And that will then take about 15, 16 seconds to go through. Now when I listen to this, no, that couldn't hear that. I actually know that that's cut through the die, and I can actually reverse it out. So if you've not got a lot of room, so say this was a wall against the back of your desk, then you would be able to stop it and reverse it back out. You don't have to go all the way through if you don't want to. So we've taken that through. Did I go through it? Yes, there we go. And that has cut straight out. So whether you're using that as an aperture, that would make a perfect aperture to put over something. I could have that as an aperture, framing, some beautiful flowers, or I can be using the matte layer. It's entirely up to you. Now, the other thing I love to do, we'll go to that one in a minute. I was going to show you with the smaller plates, but let's do this in the methodical order. So the next thing you might want to do is you might want to emboss. So here is an embossing folder, just a regular 2D embossing folder. So I'm going to pop some cardstock in. So this is some Centura Pearl. Pop that one in. So I'm going to pop in my plastic shim, and I'm going to pop on my clear cutting plate. Now I'm not going to put in my magnetic shim because the embossing folder is slightly thicker than a die. So by taking out that magnetic shim, I've kept that sandwich of plates oh, no. Come on, back out. That one didn't want to do. Why have I gone? Tell you why. Because I've gone the wrong. Why have I done that? The machine told me. Regular embossing folders, that was my mistake. Right, you see. I could say that was a deliberate error. It's 2 cutting plates. That was all. That's all I need. Come on, go in. There we go. That was it. You don't need that plastic shim. I'm so sorry. 101 and I put the wrong plates in, but that just shows you that you can't do it wrong. I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking ahead. So what you then might want to do, what I was actually thinking was a 3D embossing folder. But then let me show you that. There you go. Can you
Isn't
see?
That gorgeous. And don't forget, you do get embossing folders and dies in the set when you get it all.
You do.
So you can play with this straight away.
You get extras straight away. So if you've never... Look at that. That is gorgeous. A sentiment on there and you'd be done. Right, let me show you so I can show you why I went a bit wrong there. This is what we call a 3D embossing folder. So what you've got is you've got different heights of emboss. So I'm going to put some black cardstock in here. Now this embossing folder, if I can show you, is thicker than my regular embossing folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my clear plate on and I'm going to put my plastic shim on and put those on. And I'm going to offer that up. So I didn't put my second cutting plate on, and then we can run that through. Now, the plate combinations you use in your regular Gemini are exactly the same as you're going to use in your Gemini Junior. Now look at that. Can you, hopefully, can I let me, oh, you can just about see that.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
There you go. But we've got different heights of emboss. Put some gilding wax over there and you'll be able to see that even better. So that is just the sorts of things you can do. Now, I've just done cardstock, but you could be doing, I've got some cork here with an adhesive on the back. I've got some felt. I've got some... that was like wood felt, that's cork. Then I've got mirror cards, I've got fabrics, and we're going to cut through all of those as we go. Wow. So we can have a look at some of those. But we'll go back to Rebecca, and then I'll swap over and we'll have a quick look at the Gemini Junior.
Sounds great. If you do want to seize the moment, now is definitely your chance. Also, if you've already, maybe you've already got a Gemini and maybe you're thinking of upgrading a little bit, or maybe you've already got a Gemini and you want to help out people who are watching maybe for the first time and are thinking, which one do I go for? Do feel free to message us in. Let us know which is your favourite. Which one do you use the most and why is that one your favourite? Because it's always nice, isn't it, to kind of share it and that's part of our wonderful CTV family. So do message on our socials, let us know which you use the most and why you love it so much. We have got the Gemini die and cutting emboss machine. Really, when you get this home, which is this one, just to let you know. Really, when you get this home, you will see just how chocked full the box is. So you're going to get things like the electric cord that you need, but you're also going to get dies, you're going to get sentiment dies, you're going to get embossing folders like the ones Corrine was just using then. So you really, to be honest, all you're really going to need is make sure you've got some card stock and some glue. And guess what? We've got all of that and more coming up on the show for you today. Maybe if you're at home as well, that's another nice little tip. If someone's buying their Gemini for the first time, what maybe top 5 additions would you say are really important to get when you're first starting out? Do feel free to message us in again. And please don't forget, we've got the discount on them today, but also today and today only, we've got that 10% off discount code, 1 per person. It's CTV10, all in capital letters, CTV and then the numerical 10. It's at the bottom of your screen now. Feel free to make a note of it or take a picture. And as I say, 1 per customer. We have got the largest size that we've just done for you. We're now going to move on to the junior. So why do we love the junior so?
Is amazing. It has got exactly the same power inside it, but it's just got it's just like a smaller plate. So this is your A5, or in layman's terms, the plates are 6 inches by 9 inches. So you're going to be able to get lots on there. So you're going to get the same plate combination in your box when you open it up. You're going to get your 2 cutting plates. You're going to get your plastic shim. You're going to get your magnetic shim. You're going to get your metal cutting plate, and you're also going to get your rubber embossing mat. So just think of it exactly the same as your regular die cutting machine, your regular Gemini. Now what I love about this is, just a quick tip, if you do get this and you've got the plates and you've already got your Gemini, these plates will go through your regular Gemini as well. So you know, normally we feed that way through, we're going to feed that way through if you were to put these into your full-size Gemini, which I love, which means 11 seconds and it's cut and it's done. So what I'm actually going to do this time, we're going to try keep doing different things. I've got a piece of felt on here and I've got a deep dish die. Now a deep dish die, as you know, is, if you've seen them, is slightly thicker than a regular die. So if you remember, this is the die I cut with before, and this is my deep dish die. So this deep dish die here is slightly thicker. So because of that, we need to adjust our plate. So I'm going to put some felt down, I'm going to put my deep dish die down, I'm going to put my plastic shim down and my second cutting mat. So all I've done is I've dropped out my magnetic shim, and this will then compensate for the fact that my fabric's maybe a bit thicker than my card and my die's thicker than my other one. So I mean, how quick was that straight through there? And then we can pop that. Let's have a go. That didn't go quite all the way through. I'm going to change that round because it's fabric. I'm going to put this in here. Don't worry about that. I'm going to put my metal shim in. We're doing really well, aren't we, this morning, Becky? This is... We've had a really busy morning. Ah, now listen to that. Can you hear that crackling?
Yeah.
That crackling. There we go.
That's a great noise.
That's going to go through there. Now look at that. I thought it would go through without, but it didn't. But there was no hassle because all I did was put my metal plate in. So what I'm doing then is cutting metal against metal. But you can use that with your intricate dies as well as your standard dies. So I've got a sentiment, and I'm going to do exactly the same with my sentiment. I'm now going to put my full plate combination on there, and we're going to pop that through my machine. And I just want to show you, let's go with a cut and embossing folder.
Okay.
But look at that. So here we go, wedding invitation. Look at this. How perfect is this? No degradation of cut just because we've gone down to the smaller machine. Let me move that out of the way, you can see it better. How perfect is that?
Lovely.
Absolutely brilliant. Now, one more with this one, and then we can have a look at another machine. So let's get that out of the way. Let's have a cut and emboss folder. So these are slightly different. So what it is, it's an embossing folder and a metal die in one. So let me come with some Centura Pearl. So my cut and emboss, so I go my cutting plate, my embossing folder, I'm going to go my metallic shim and my plates. Now I know we're going through lots of different plate combinations, but it's all in the guide. So you're going to have them all in your guide and your manual, and it'll all be there for you. So you know, you've got them there. that popped through the other side.
Don't forget that if you have lost your manual for any reason, then there is a downloadable version online. So just
Oh,
head
is
to our
there?
website.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's handy to know. There we go. So look at that. Now I have cut and embossed. Let me come over that way a little bit. Isn't that amazing?
Gorgeous.
Look at that. So all that beautiful cutting and that embossing in one pass. Beautiful.
It's just fab, isn't it? And all of that power, even though it's the more delicate size. I've had a message in from Rosalind. Hey up, Rosalind, how's your Monday? Saying, I like how you dropped this in, Rosalind. My purple Gemini Junior is my go-to electric machine. Most of my dies fit, it cuts like butter, and it fits perfectly on my Lazy Susan. I have 3 of the OG Geminis. Rosalind, I love that. The Lazy Susan is such a good idea for kind of your small spaces and manoeuvrability and all the rest of it. You have 3 OGs. I adore that, Rosalind. How come you have 3? I really need to know, because I have this wonderful idea that Rosalind's like, you know, just got 3 homes. You know, just 1 in each house. I just really like the idea of it. Or maybe it's like 1 for each room. Yes, do feel free to message us in. We have also got the lovely Sandra in saying, I've been using my Gemini for some years. My advice would be to go for the largest machine that space and budget allow. The bigger ones can always cut smaller, but the smaller cannot cut bigger. That is really good piece of advice. It truly, truly is. And if your budget today maybe doesn't quite stretch to an original, then you've got the wonderful Junior on screen right now. But please also remember, although that price is on your screen with your 10% saving, actually you're getting another 10% off if you use the code CTV10. So keep Sandra's wonderful advice in mind. We are bringing to you a fabulous selection of essential core tools today, and one of them is our guillotine. Now, our guillotine is, quite frankly, a must-have. You will use the guillotine and you will not look back. It means that you can create your own handmade cards right from base to layers and mats and layers. This is giving you precision, quality, crispness every single time. And it's kind of the reason that we adore this tool so much. So just to let you know, just in case you are brand spanking new, and if you are, do reach out on socials and let us know, because we are a family here. If you've got any questions, there's no such thing as a silly one. If you don't know what a guillotine is, you're going to put things like card or paper into here, and then using this handle, you've got a self-sharpening blade that's going to cut through perfectly every single time. You've got your guidelines here so you can line up your paper so it's always straight, and you're also getting the extra little foot on there which goes all the way out. I am bringing this to you today with a 10% saving, plus if you use the code, an extra 10% off. The large guillotine is available for you if you do want it. You've got US available, we've also got UK available as well, so do just have a little nosy. It's just sort of the sizing is all that's different. We love our guillotine. What is it that you adore about this so much?
It's the ease of use and the multi-use. Look at it, it says comfortably cut 12 by 12. Of course it will comfortably cut 12 by 12 because the measurements, if you extend the arm, go up to 13 inches along that length. And so, you know, and if I put this card in, this card is just shy of 12 inches, so it's easily, oh, no, you can't see on there, look at that. I've got all this space in at the bottom. So I have extended the arm, which is really easy to do. It's on a spring load and it just pops out. So the only thing you need to be mindful of, little leg on there, is make sure that whatever surface this piece is on, that's on as well. So if I don't know if you can see, if I just went off my glass mat at the side, so you can see this piece here is dropped down, then it's going to be a bit wobbly. So as long as I keep it all on the same surface, it'll be perfect. But look at this. So we're talking about mats and layers. So if I take this up and I decide to measure 10 inches that way, and then cut down, and then I measure 5 inches that way. Now look at this. I could put this on here, and if I didn't butt it up right at the top, can you see it's starting to run not true down there? Because I've got those score lines on there, then that will, I know that that's perfectly square. Now what I can also do is I can pop that into there with the arm down. I can see now that's my 5-inch mark. You also get the score tool in there. I can score down there, fold that in half, and I've made my card base. How perfect is that? So you've got the perfect, your tools to make your card bases as well as your mats and layers. So then I might decide, let's just have a look on there. So let's go down 1/4 of an inch, because we like our 1/4 inches. So I cut to 5-inch, so I'm going to pop down there. I'm going to do this just out of white. Let's get a large piece of white to do that, because we can always go down again. So get my there. So my card is 5 inches, so I'm going to go down to the next line, which is just there, and pop that one onto there. And then I'm going to do the same again here. I can see I'm running true, put that on there, and then that will pop perfectly onto my card. And look at that, perfect mats and layers every single time. So I've made my card base and I've made my mats and layers, and then I can be doing things like putting on my sentiment as well.
That's
Perfect.
just wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, it is one of those tools that has been so well thought out, and it is truly one of those tools that you'll think, how have I not had this all the time?
I know. Now, I was cutting quite large pieces there, and one of the somebody said to me is you can do much smaller. So if I wanted, so my first measurement is 1 inch at the top there. But sometimes I like to cut a piece 1/2 inch. So I'll give you a top tip of how I would do that. So what I would do is I would cut it to the nearest full number. So that is now at 3 inches. So if I want to cut off a piece that's 1/2 inch long. So if I was to do that, I'd be going, maybe it's about here. So because I've cut that to 3, I'm going to take it down now to 2.5, because it was 3 inches before. Cut that. And I now know that, look at that, is exactly 1/2 inch, because that's what I've cut. But I can cut smaller than that. I can cut really, really fine pieces off. So I can completely, if you just cut it wrong, I can fine tune my cutting. But I want to show you the edge. That edge is perfect. There is no feathering on there, because that's the worst thing you want. You do not want a feathered edge. So if I can cut the tiniest slither of here. Oh, I missed that. I didn't have that straight. Let me cut that. There we go. This tiniest slither, and I know I'm going to get a straight edge, and it's not going to be feathered, which is absolutely brilliant.
If you do want to seize the moment, now is definitely the time to go for it. US on your screen. It's really popular from the US warehouse at the moment. So if you've been thinking about it, now is your time to grab it. We have got the UK version as well if you want that. Now, back in stock by seriously popular demand is our range of scissors. Now, we have got here for you 3 different sizes of scissors. And again, if you are new, you might be thinking, hey, up Bex, you're having us on there. 3 pairs of scissors? No, I don't need them. Surely I just need 1. Well, definitely, as a lot of us crafters will know, not the case. If you're doing a large project, you're going to want some large scissors. If you're going to be getting into those little tiny spaces, you're going to be using the smaller scissors. And that's the great thing with these. They are beautifully designed so that it can do any job at all. You will know full well, if you have shopped for especially small scissors, that you can actually be paying £30 for a pair of small snip scissors, which again, if you are new to crafting, might sound completely OTT, but it is absolutely the truth. I have brought to you before very small scissors around the £30 mark. Today, you're getting the dainty ones, and they all cut right to the edge as well, which not all scissors do. Sometimes you get that little nick at the end, don't you? Not with these. You're getting all 3 of them today for £28.98 or just $44.90. Another discount deal, a saving of 20%. But don't forget, we've got our super saver on today, so you can get an extra 10% off. These are going to last and last because they've got that lovely sort of anti-rust and anti-corrosion coating on them, and you are going to be able to use these day after day, week after week, year after year if you look after them. And today, to get it for just that price, it's definitely worth a go. You use all the different sizes of scissors, don't you?
I don't have the snips here with me, but I'm going to show you. These are absolutely lovely. I love that they've got this sort of non-stick coating. Look at this, the large scissors, when you open them up, they've got the measurements on the inside as well, so you know exactly how you're cutting. Now, everybody uses them for different reasons. If I'm doing fussy cutting, I love to use my large scissors because I just love how I can use all of that blade to cut all the way around there. So you can use, and as Becky said, let me just show you, the whole of that blade. But look at what a perfect curve you get. Because I don't know about you, but if I was to take a pair of scissors and do little snips, it doesn't come as smooth. If I can come in and use my whole blade, I'm going to get a much smoother finish. So you can then use all that blade to do this. And believe you me, these are so sharp. Even if you're cutting through tape, because they've got the non-stick coating, it doesn't stick to them at all. So then we've got the middle-sized ones, and you can feel, as soon as you cut with these, you can feel how sharp they are. Absolutely perfect. You know, you can use the whole of the blade and know that it's going to cut brilliantly. And the little snips do the same. Now, I use larger scissors for fussy cutting. I know our Craig uses his smaller scissors, the little snips. You use the pair that works best for you, that fits best in your hand. Only you know which one that will be.
It's most certainly worth giving a go of all of them, especially as today you've got that discount deal on them. If you love our scissors, do let us know. Also, have you ever maybe paid a little bit extra for scissors? How much have you paid? Do feel free to message us in and let us know. We have got some fabulous tools on today, including our Geminis, and we're going to talk to you now about our MIDI die cutting machine. I just want to remind you that all of our die cutting machines, the one I'm about to bring you, does come with all of the kind of extras that you need, you know, your cord, etc. So do bear that in mind. You don't have to worry about adding too much into this. Your Gemini MIDI, you are getting today that 10% discount, but again, you have also got the extra discount on it. What's the MIDI good for?
Right, now, I love how you said, when you get these, you get everything you need, even your flexes. You don't need a flex with your MIDI.
Of course, yeah.
You don't need a flex with your MIDI, and that is what is so brilliant. This means it's portable, and you can take it wherever you want. Now, look at this. It's got suckers on the bottom, so you know it's going to work brilliant on your craft desk. So if you're left-handed, you can put it that way around. I'm not pressing this down and the suckers are so strong. If you're right-handed, you can do that. Now, if I press this down, and then luckily I actually cleaned this before, look at that. It is holding that glass mat. That is how good those suckers are on the bottom. Now, you're also going to get your 2 plates with it. So you're going to get a folder system with your MIDI, and then you're going to get this purple plate as well, and I'll show you what that is for in a minute. So we saw this die cut brilliantly through my main machine. I'm going to pop that in the middle of my MIDI, and then I'm going to feed it through my machine, and you can see it just goes, the folders go through. Put my hand on top, that's not putting any pressure on, that's just me, because I just do it for steadiness. And look at that, I turned it upside down, so as it's come through, look at that, you can see that has cut absolutely brilliantly. Now, if you watch me do my last craft along, you'll have seen that this was the machine that Ben used the whole way through, because Ben did the craft along with me, and he used the MIDI. Now, if you want to do embossing folders, you think, well, how do I get rid of all, you know, extra layers? All you're going to do, let me get my embossing folder, and I'm going to pop a piece of cardstock in there. Now, don't worry that my cardstock is a bit bigger than my embossing folder. Can I do it? No, I'll do it that way around. There we go. Put that like that. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop my purple plate on top. So I can pop that through and then wind that through. Put my hand on top just so it doesn't wobble around. There you go. And that will now emboss Look at that. It's still embossed absolutely perfectly. If you've got a 3D embossing folder, like this one, you put it through on its own. No extra plates needed. So the mouth of this is perfectly designed to take your 3D embossing folders. Your 2D embossing folders, just add in your purple plates. So it's so easy to use. Portable, but really, really powerful at the same time.
Portable but powerful.
Portable but powerful.
That's what it says on my label.
It should strap that across, shouldn't it?
No, right. We've had people messaging in. Hiya, Cynthia, how are you? Are you having a lovely day? Cynthia says, top 5 items, this is if you knew, top 5 items would recommend for new crafters is large guillotine, completely, we've looked at that. The glass craft mat,
oh yeah,
which I've actually got on show. The pokey tool, really good tip on that one. Small snips, which we've got on today, and Collal glue. They're a really good top 5.
They are really, really good type. And we've got all of those on the show today, and we're going to show you when to use them. I love the Collal glue, and this is fantastic glue that we're going to show you how to use this. It's solvent-based glue, so yeah, it goes through most things. Just don't use it on your coated cardstock because it could take the coating off. But apart from that, perfect glue for everything else, and we're going to use that lots today. Gosh, that bottle's nearly empty. It's been used a lot.
Miriam's also been in about this machine saying, I love the Gemini MIDI. It stays on my desk and it is used for most of my projects. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Miriam. It's great. It can just stay out, isn't it? It's really wonderful. So you have got the MIDI on screen right now. We have got that discount deal for you, and you're getting that extra 10% off as well. So do make the most of that code. As well as that, we're going to go to our delicate little mini machine now. This is seriously small but mighty, and we are bringing it to you again, your manual die cutting machine. We're bringing it to you at a stellar deal. You know what, that is such a good price that actually maybe you've got someone in your family, may it be a niece, a nephew, a grandchild, maybe someone who's quite young and is just sort of starting to get into crafting. At that price point, treat them to it today as a little, birthday gift maybe, or maybe even just you've been really good this weekend, here's a treat. This is going to be a great one. You can have your Gemini next to you, they can have theirs, and you can craft along together. That price point is sensational, and you can use the extra 10% off code. The Mini is small but mighty.
Now this is a brilliant machine, so hopefully you can see on here. How I have mine at home is I have it stuck on top of my other machine. So it's not in the way, it's not interfering with the use, but it's there for me to reach out and grab it whenever I want it. Again, it's got the sucker feet on, so it's going to stick on your desk. Again, it's left-handed or right-hand use, it's entirely up to you. And again, this is a folder-based system. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop here. I've got my butterfly from my Elements collection. I'm going to pop that into the folder. I'm going to offer it up. Now, how I tend to use it is I will put my hand on the top. I will go through. I heard that click, so I know, and then I will bring it back as well. And then that has cut perfectly. But look at that. That has cut as well in my Mini as it would have done in my full-size Gemini, and I love this. See, but you'll be surprised at how many dies will actually go through your Mini folder. Obviously, clearly not all of your dies, but it is a large proportion of your dies will actually go through that.
It's a brilliant opportunity for you to grab it. We don't just have this one though, we also have our Gemini Go. And the Gemini Go is, just to let you know, US only at this moment in time. The Gemini Go is individual, unique, but as always, it has all of the power of the Gemini. Have a little look at this to see some of its sneaky features.
Gemini Go has arrived. Do you want the power of an electronic die cutting machine but don't have the space at home? Then the Gemini Go is for you. This portable, small, compact and efficient die cutting and embossing machine has the same power and precision as the larger Gemini machines, but in a portable size. So whether travelling away in a caravan or RV, in the park or at your local craft class, you can take your Gemini Go with you. Take this little machine anywhere and craft on the go. For ultimate portability, the Gemini Go can be operated with an external power source, available separately, via the Gemini battery booster cable. It has a platform size of 3 inches by 6 inches, so is perfect for your smaller crafting projects, saving you time when cutting sentiments, small mats and frames. It's compatible with most thin metal dies and allows you to cut materials such as cardstock, vinyl, fabric and craft metal, which makes it great for fans of mixed media crafting as well as paper crafting. Effortlessly cutting through multiple layers of fabric in one pass through the machine, the Gemini Go is perfect for soft craft projects too. In the box, you'll receive your machine and all the platforms you need to get crafting on the go. Compact, portable and powerful. The Gemini Go, made by crafters for crafters.
So if you want to be able to have your powered go, now is definitely your chance. We had the lovely, it was Sandra, wasn't it? Or Cynthia, sorry, who messaged in earlier on saying her top 5 items for new crafters. And safe to say, we're all completely agreeing with you here, Cynthia. Glass mat was one of them. And this is the glass mat I am bringing to you today. Now, I will let you know that it's sold out at the weekend in the US. I'm sorry. So it is UK only. So if you are in the UK, grab it whilst you can, because we do not want another sellout on our hands. This is one of those items that will change any space into a craft area, but also help you whilst you're crafting. We have got your measurements on here. As you can see, it's tempered glass, so that means that it's super strong and durable. It's going to protect whatever surface you put it on. You can put water on this, waxes on this, inks on this, and it is easy peasy to clean. It has got non-slip little feet on the base as well. So that means it's not going to roll around everywhere. You can use heat on this even, like your glue gun and things. It is a surface protector. Next level, and today we're bringing it to you for less than £20. I mean, if you platinum, it's £15.83, and if you use that 10% off code, it's going to go under £15, isn't it? So this is your chance to grab the moment on this one, because it really can change any space really into a crafting area. So, and you know, don't want to go wrecking your dining room table or whatever. That therefore is the one for you. As well as this, we have got for you some storage on today. Now, us crafters love storage. I mean, we adore it. I was with you at a Totally Tiffany takeover on Saturday, and it was, as always, just so popular. We have got some storage for you now, but what I love about this storage is it's storage that is portable at the same time. Now I'm going to show you these two because I want to show you them next to next. Which one is speaking to you the most? Because whichever it is, whether it's your sort of walk on the wild side or it's your more floral, pick which one you fancy. I'm going to start off by showing you these cases. It's the floral one first up. Wonderful case, reinforced handle, so it's really nice and strong, and therefore it holds a lot of weight. I've got my double zip action on this one, which is really handy because it means if I've got anything poking out, I can just zip up to that area. And inside is just storage beyond storage. I've got my little hanger here, so I can hang it up, say on the back of a door or even in a closet if I wanted to. I've got massive pockets here that are really easy to see into, because if you've ever had storage before when you can't actually see what you're getting at, you end up rifling round and things fall over each other. You've also got the zip action on those too, and you've got this pocket at the base which is actually removable. Now I know full well that some of you at home, you know, you'll be using this if maybe as almost like your kitty when you're doing a craft fair, because you can take that off separately, have it with your spare change in, and then lock it back up so you know that it's going to be nice and safe. You've also got the front front pocket on this one too. It is so sturdy, it's gonna last, and it's gonna be really good for you whether you are storing or you're moving your craft goods around. It's not just this design I've also got for you the purple cheetah. This is your print one. So if you've got anybody who, you know, likes something a little bit more wild, a little bit more out there, then this is definitely the one for you. All of the same fantastic features, those wonderful zips. And I know this sounds really silly, but they're a lovely large zip with a large tag. You know, ones that are quite small and you're fiddling to find them. Not with these, really, really large, which means dead easy to open, work with, etc. This is your opportunity. Today, it's just $26.99 or $31.45. And again, which one's your favourite? Do feel free to message us in and let us know which one you've got. Or maybe you've got both. Maybe you've got one for that day where you're a little bit more, I don't know, just mature feeling, and then one where you just want to go wild. Do feel free to let us know. So these are those storage cases. I've also got for you on the show, don't forget, coming up later on, some Monday Makers treats. Now this is very, very special indeed. I have got for you your interlace die collection. Now, I just want to let you know that these dies are, well, sensational. They're stunning. They're beautiful. The reason I like this collection so much is, for me, it is something for a lot of different occasions. When we're talking about these dies, we're talking about really good quality. We're talking about real good versatility. But today, I'm also giving you 40% discount. I know, 40% discount on these dies. I want to let you know that when we do discounts like this, and remember you can get that extra 10% discount code from us today, let me just remind you that when we're bringing to you dies with a 40% discount, these aren't dies that have, you know, I don't know, it's not like a sandwich at the end of the day. You know, they knock 40% off because the lettuce has gone a bit, it's not that at all. These are perfect quality, they are wonderful, they're still timeless, and yet we give you that discount. And don't forget the discount code at the bottom. Let me show you a bit closer the designs that I've got for you here. So I'm going to start off with my village. This is your village chapel. It's a beauty of a design, and this is just to show you how wonderfully that works. I really like this one, the idea of using it with acetate. You can make those stained glass windows actually look like stained glass windows. I'm also bringing you the one I love. I think this is beautiful because it is love of kind of all types. This could be platonic love, it could be love for your partner. I like it with the florals in there. It could be quite a nice one maybe for Mother's Day or something similar to that. Birthdays as well. Then I'm bringing to you Framed with Love. This one is so artistic and beautiful, and I love the modernity of this. You've got that wonderful lady, gent, sort of embracing with that really interesting detail on the dress that's then almost sort of taken through in these tendrils that kind of draw the eye upwards. It's going to look wonderful with a sentiment next to it, but it is an absolute standalone piece. I think that would be beautiful in a box frame as a gift for maybe someone's wedding with little, you know, love notes or whatever it might be within there. Last but by no means least, I have got my beautiful bird cage. That bird is fab because I feel like depending on what colours you use, it could be, you know, maybe a blue tit, or it could be a robin, for example. You can kind of play around with these, and again you've got that wonderful floral detail. So we have got all of these today with a 40% discount, because you're normally looking at about £20 each, you see. Today, though, we are bringing it to you at just $47.97 or $59.88. Do you have a nice little sneeze then?
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right.
It just fell out.
Oh, did it? I like that. Gave me a little jump.
Sorry, I think it woke everybody else. Just remind you that I'm still here.
Oh, no. We would not forget. We would not forget. So if you do want to seize the moment on these, again, you've got the 40% discount on them anyway, but you can get an extra 10% today as well. Shall we have a little natter about these?
They are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? So I showed you this one earlier where we'd put the beautiful bird cage on some acetate to give it that curvature. Absolutely gorgeous. We did a little bit of paper piecing in there. This one is so, so pretty. And I love how the card extends beyond the bird cage. Another one with the bird cage, just by doing some inking. We've got some inking on there, and again some paper piecing, and again we've used the acetate. You don't have to use acetate, but that just gives it a little bit more rigidity. We have that gorgeous couple. Now we're going to do something along the lines of this, in so much as we're going to not paper piece, but we're going to cut it out and put the multiple colours one on top of the other. This one's also done some inking through there. We've got paper piecing. We've got all of the techniques in there, which is brilliant. This is the die that we are going to use. So this is our village chapel. Again, like you say, so many reasons. It could be wedding, it could be anniversary, it could be christening, or it could, you know, you could even go Christmas with this if you wanted to. And then we have those gorgeous hearts. So you know normally we do a bevel that way. How about doing the bow on the card going that way, which is what we've done with this one? Or how about, there we go. This just shows you how you can then emboss. So what we've done here is we've actually inked with our embossing inks and then put the embossing powder over. So you've got that sort of gem effect on there. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to do something maybe a little bit different, I think, again on here. So as I said, we're going to use our village chapel. Now these are really clever dies. So when you look at the die here, I can see it's got a full cutting blade all the way down that edge just there. But there is no cutting blade along here, nor at the bottom, nor at the top. So this is going to cut into your cardstock. So we're going to put it onto our cardstock, and when it's cut, we're actually going to do a few little different bits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this exactly at the bottom, so it folds at the top on that score line. Now this is going to be waste, and for once this is going to be waste. Normally this cuts into your card, but we're going to trim that off. Then I'm going to put my plates over the top, magnetic shim, clear embossing plate, and my regular emboss plate. Don't worry that you've got a little bit of card up there, because I can just poke that through. Oops, how about turning on I just changed the machines, I haven't turned it on. I can pop that through, and that little bit of card that was out at the top, that's just going to come through first, and it actually doesn't do any harm whatsoever. So, oh, have I gone deeper? I might not put that on my plates properly. I might need to run that through. I just check in. Oh, let me see. Have I cut the bottom, or have I been a bit quick on the plates? Let's have a look. Actually, I'm going to go through one more time. I needed to do was move that further up my plate. So let's just come here. There we go, put that on. But what these are cut and emboss die. So let's just run that through. It doesn't matter that I'm running it through a second time, because it's an electronic die cutting machine. So it's not doing any harm whatsoever. So we can run that through, and now I've actually got the bottom. Just as it went through, I saw that the bottom of the die wasn't covered by plates. And obviously, as we know, if the die is not covered by plates, then it can't cut. Now, there we go. That has cut absolutely perfect. Now, if I was to have a look at this, I would see that there's very little embossed detail on there. You can just see a little bit. So what I'm going to do, get rid of all those bits, because I don't want those to emboss, and I'm going to pop my rubber shim onto here next. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just pop that to there, so that the this piece is not really in the machine. Now, one rule is, and I don't know of an occasion where you ever use your rubber embossing mat and your magnetic shim at the same time. So I'm going to keep my magnetic shim out this time and just pop it through with the plastic shim and the two plates as well as the rubber embossing mat. And what this is doing now is it's getting that rubber shim and it's pushing the cardstock right into the die. So it's really pushing it in. So what will happen is when I have a look at this now, all these places, that cardstock, even though it's Centura Pearl, is virtually flush with the top of my cardstock. So I can now, if I wanted to, I could ink through those. We're not going to on this one because we're going to keep the colours really simple. But it's at that point that I would ink through there. Now look at that. Can you see how much it's embossed? That detail.
That's
it's
great.
embossed those doors and everything. So we're going to pop this through again, this die.
Okay.
Let's just clean up the die. Just give it 1 minute. Take that tape off. Give it a little tap. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the cardstock on, and I'm going to, let's make this easier, and put that into the corner. Actually, I've still got some bits stuck in. Come on. Let me grab my die brush and just, there we go. Now, if you're wondering about the die brush, we've got that on the show as well. So you can see that. We're going to look at that when we look at the contours, because, just a minute, because this has been embossed, it really pushed those in. So it got rid of the easy ones, but the ones where it embossed, wow, you can tell how well it's embossed because the bits that it's left behind are really left behind. There
Whilst
we
you're
go.
popping those out, it's just enough time to say, happy birthday, Sharon! Sharon's just messaged in saying, just wanted to pop on and say hello and good morning to everyone, to wish Becky Swan the happiest of birthdays today. It's mine also. Cake for everyone!
Oh, fantastic. I was just about to say, we need to say happy birthday to our Becky. It's her birthday as well, isn't it?
It is indeedy doodles. Happy birthday, lovely Becky. And Sharon, happy birthday to you. Have you got a cake? If so, what flavour? And don't worry, I can tell you the address to send a piece to. It's fine. I have a fabulous day, Sharon. I really do. Do you know anything nice for it? If so, let us know.
Oh, cake. About the right time for cake, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
cake's
so.
o'clock.
Yeah. About the right sort of time. Right, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do exactly the same with this. So let's get rid of all of these pieces. Look at that, how perfectly they have cut all of the bits out of the die. Let's get rid of those. So it is important to clean your mat when you do things like this, because we're going to do some embossing. Look at that, everything has cut beautifully, and we're going to just pop that through there. Did you notice I put it right up to the edge? It's going to save me having to do a bit of cutting, and we're going to pop that one through one more time. Just put the plates together. There we go. Now, we had this one, so we're going to have a look at this one in a minute, and we're going to do some trimming with this. Now, I am actually going to use my scissors on this rather than my guillotine. You could use your guillotine, but I'm going to use my scissors because it'll be so much easier. Now, that should have cut that and embossed that beautifully into my cardstock. Oh, come on, pop out. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Can you see all that gorgeous embossed detail?
Definitely.
So what I'm going to do, largest scissors, I'm going to take that and I'm going to do a little snip here just to release that from the card. I'm going to come along to the top and I'm just going to take my scissors. This is why I like the large scissors, because I can do that in one pass. Then I know I've got a really straight cut. And I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to do it on the same on the other side, just to cut along there. And then I'm going to use this emboss line on here to help to be my guide. And again, using those long, thin cuts, or long, not thin cuts, those long cuts, using the whole length of my scissors, I have now been able to cut that out.
Relating to the scissors, Susan Dawn's asked, it might be a silly question, but what are the measurements on the scissors used for?
If you wanted to say, if I wanted to cut, I don't know, a 1 inch cut, what I'd do is I'd start there. Now, can you see I've got it there at the 2 inch mark?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to cut until the 1 inch mark has, can you see I've now cut it to there, which is one.
Yeah.
So if I stop, if I was to measure that, that would be exactly a 1 inch cut. So if I wanted to do 1.5 inches, I might put it in here at the 2.5 inch mark and cut down to the 1 inch mark. There we go. So I know that that cut is exactly 1.5. So it's just to measure if you want a specific length cut on your your project.
Good for your accuracy.
So yeah, no stupid questions. They're always really,
Absolutely.
really relevant. So now I have got this piece here. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to do a form of paper piecing with this. So we're going to trim this out, and let's come here. And again, the scissors are going to make this so much easier for me. So I can cut round to that step, and I'm just using the embossed detail to help me. So we can then just cut to there. Cut that piece out. Then I don't want the trees, so I'm just going to cut around here. Now you might find this so much easier, like we were saying earlier, with your small scissors, but personally, for me, it's the large scissors all the way, because this, I just find it so much easier. And if Nessay just cut off, I'm just going to cut that way and cut that, there we go, I've got rid of all the bulky bits. Then I can cut down here, and let's just go, oh, I should have cut round the edges there, never mind. Right, we can cut just down here, and then I can then follow this piece all the way down. So I've got mirror image is on the other side, cut that little overhang in, cut it back, and then we can cut the mirror image of the other side. So we don't want to go all the way down, we just want to go to there, and then we can then cut a nice strip just down there. Now if you want to use your paper trimmer when you're doing any of the straight cutting, then that will work equally as well. So we can cut around there, and now look at that, we've released the church from the cardstock, so we can then find that that will now pop on there absolutely beautifully. And I've already also done some of the little windows just there and just there, and I should have another window. Where's my other window gone? I can't see it, I'll find it in a minute. Let's find that in a minute, but we can put those on. Now, let's have a talk about glue. So we've already mentioned glue in passing. So what we need to remember is, what are we sticking to? Now this is Centura Pearl, so if I was sticking to this side, I wouldn't really be able to use my collal glue because it's a solvent-based glue and it might react with that. But actually, I'm sticking it on the inside, so that will give me the perfect cut. So what I've got is I've just got some textured cardstock, completely uncoated, and I can then pop on my glue. Come on, this one, as I said, was getting low. Come on, there we go. And I can just pop that all the way around there. Now, collal glue will dry really, really strong, and it actually adds, it's almost like adding an extra layer to your project. So we can take that piece, and look at that, I've got wiggle room, so I've got time to adjust it till it's perfectly flat. I can roll over that with my hands. The heat in my hands is really going to react with the glue. Then I've got one of my beautiful cardstock. So this is from the Hummingbird paper pad, from the 12 by 12 paper pad. Again, uncoated, so I know it's perfectly fine to go in with my collal glue. And then we can pop this one on to there. And again, having that little bit of wiggle room, I just love them. Smooth it down, and then the heat from your hands is really going to be perfect. So when that's dry, I can already feel that's really firm now. That's added so much rigidity to my card. Now when we come to here, I wouldn't then use my collal glue to glue that onto there. You could be using your tacky glue, which I've decanted into a small bottle, or you could be using something like your tape pen. I'm still wondering where my little piece has gone. We might have to just do a little bit of cutting in a minute to get that piece. I'm going to, for speed, let's have a show you on the tacky glue. So the tacky glue, all we've done here is we've decanted the tacky glue into a little applicator. Now I think you've probably got those on the show as well, because if you're getting the tacky glue, these are an absolute must. Now I believe you can also dispense the collal glue into these. Just takes a little bit more work to get it out because it's a bit thicker to do this. Now tacky glue is water based. So you want to be quite sparing with that, because you don't want to wrinkle and ruin your cardstock after doing all this hard work. You don't want it to be ruined for the sake of a little bit of glue. So we can then just come all the way down. Look at that tiny little bits of glue.
Just let you know that the tacky glue is at the bottom of the screen. You're getting 3 packs of it, and this little applicator isn't the size of the actual glue that you get. The glue's much more.
Oh, much
than
much
this. It's
bigger.
100 mil, 3 times over for that price.
Tacky glue just takes a second or two to grab. Now I can feel where I started, that's already going tacky. So sometimes you might want to leave it. We shall work with this. So then I can put this on here. Again, I've got a little bit of wiggle room time to do that. And actually I need to lift that up because I don't want to get glue on the back. So we can then pop that onto there.
Oh, Sharon's let us know what chocolate cake she's at. She's having birthday cake, it's chocolate. I've just plot spoiled it then, didn't I? Oh, plot spoiler. But it's not just chocolate, not for Sharon. Sharon says, I have a chocolate cake with chocolate icing and with shaved chocolate on the sides and some dollops of chocolate on the top. Chocolate overload.
She's really gone for it, hasn't she?
Quad choc. Is it called? Quad choc. That's brilliant, Shannon. Oh, enjoy that. Please do, Shannon. Have a fabulous, fabulous birthday, Shannon. And have as much cake as you like. You're allowed to on your birthday, aren't you?
You are, yeah. Yeah, those calories don't count. They don't do anything on your birthday.
Not on your birthday, Shannon, you're fine. Go for it.
Nor
Also,
on your friend's birthday, nor on your mum's birthday. They don't count. Now, it's my husband's birthday this week. Those calories don't count by association.
Yeah, free. They're free.
They're free calories, yeah, absolutely.
Susan's messaged in saying internet froze, so I missed some. I asked a question about the measurements on the scissors. What are they used for? And can you also repeat the 10% code for today? Thank you kindly. The code is going to come in at the bottom of your screen. It's CTV10 for 10% off on top of everything, one per person, only used today. And have a reminder of the scissors. What are the measurements for again?
Right,
Honey?
so the measurements are for if you want to do exact cutting. Let me stick this together and then I will show her again so we can show. So then I've got a sentiment and I'm just going to pop my sentiment just on the side of my card, and again I'm just using my tacky glue and I'm going to pop that just there. That'll go like that, and then I'm just going to pop a couple of little gems on, and oh, my sentiment flew off. There we go. The tacky, I hadn't given the tacky glue long enough, so let's just pop that back on there. There we go. Come on. Sometimes you just need to give, because it's going onto the Centura pearl, we're just going to give it a minute. There we are. Let's just let that grab. If not, I can go in with some of my red line, my tape pen, if we want it to. So let's just put a couple of little pearls on there while that tacky glue is just grabbing. There we go. Again, I don't know if it's on the show, but things like your tweezers, things like your pokey tools, they're all the things that you need to be getting. So if you are today buying something like your Gemini machine, the extra 10% that you're saving is going to allow you to buy some of your extra core tools, isn't it? I think that's a perfect deal. And how about like that? Now this has really become lovely and firm because I use that collage glue on the back. But how perfect is that? You know, wedding, christening, whatever you want. I just love that. And look at the embossed detail that you're going to get in there. Absolutely beautiful.
Fabulous.
Okay.
If you do want to seize the moment on those, remember 40% off on these ones today, and you're getting that design which Catherine has described as beautiful. And I've also got for you, yeah, the village. I've got the love hearts as well, which is the one I love. I'm bringing to you the framed with love, and also in here you're going to be getting the beautiful bird cage. But the lovely thing is the technique that Corinne's just shown you there, you can use on any of these dies. So go have fun, enjoy that 40% discount, but don't forget you can also get the extra 10% off. Use it today because it's only today. So do use it whilst we're here.
Just remind, what was the lady's name that was asking about the scissors?
It was Susan.
Susan, right. Okay, so as we were saying, you've got one, so you know the top is 0 down to 3 inches on there. So all it is if you wanted to cut something a specific length, so maybe, let me just show you if we were to do it on here. If I was to cut into here for 1 inch, what I might do is I might start at the 2-inch mark, put my scissors up to there. I'm going to cut to the 1 inch just there. So that's going to cut absolutely perfect. I know I've got a 1 inch slot. So what I can do is I can take 2 pieces and then I know they're going to slot together absolutely brilliantly. But the other reason is if you're doing longer cuts just like this, so let's just say I want a 2-inch cut, I'm going to start at the 2-inch and I can cut right to the end, and I know I have cut, if we put it on here, if we measure from that 8-inch point down to the 6-inch point, we know we've measured it, we've cut exactly 2 inches on there. So you know, it's just so that you can measure your cuts. So you know, you might need just a 1/2 inch little snip, just like that. You might need a 1 inch snip. It's entirely up to you. Or I can do a 1.5, and it's actually going to cut straight through there. But how about that? So it's just to give you a bit more control over your projects.
It most certainly is. Hope that helps you, lovely Susan. Just to let you know that we were mentioning things like the pokey tool, and we were mentioning things like the brush earlier on. We have actually got a really cool tool kit. I know you were mentioning the tweezers as well. We have got a really cool tool kit as well if you did want to seize the moment on it. It's actually on your screen right now. There's a discount of over 20%, but you can also use that 10% off code on top of it. We have, if you are new to us, we have been bringing to you all of your essentials, such as your fabulous different styles of your Gemini. We've been bringing you tools, we've been bringing you dies, and we've got so much more to come. You may well have noticed, if you are new, that there's a little box there that says platinum price, and it says Club Inspire next to it. And you might think, oh, I've heard of things like this before. I know shopping TV. You have to pay, don't you? Each week a certain amount, and then maybe you'll get a bit of a discount. Here at Crafters TV, it is not like that at all. You can get involved for free and make savings on your first purchase. Have a little look at this to find out more.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours. I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us. You give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome back, crafters. How's your crafting going today? Are you actually crafting, or have you not got time to craft today? And if you're not crafting today, what time this week are you planning on crafting? Do feel free to let us know. What?
There's a lot of questions there.
Yeah. I like to be kept informed. Hiya, welcome back. My name's Becky. It's really lush to be with you today. Oh, up. We've had a fabulous day so far, including the likes of discounts, because I've got my Showtime surprise! Keep forgetting the name of that, don't I? Showtime surprise today is 10% discount for you today only, 10% off. And it is on top of other discounts. You know, sometimes when you go into a shop and, so I'm a student, so I've had this loads recently. You go into a shop with student discount, dead excited, and then you pick up whatever you're in there to buy and it's on offer, and then you try and use your student discount and they say you can't use them together. Yeah, well, that ain't the case today. So for example, with the fabulous shadow sentiments that are on your screen right now, they're half price. But you can also get the extra 10% off on. It's the code at the bottom of the screen, capital letters CTV, and then the number 10 for 10% off. And these are the fabulous shadow sentiments that you're going to be getting. We're bringing to you today a look of 3D popability. These are fabulous, wonderful, unique, individual, eye-catching, modern, fun, quirky stamp and die sets. So what we've got here, as you can see, it looks like it's leaping out of the screen, right? But it is actually completely flat with that die cut of the word friend over the top of it. Don't forget though, the die cuts themselves, you can just use alone if you want to. We have got for you, You're a True Friend. I've also got Thinking of You, The Most Wonderful News. I've also got Blessed to Have You, Thank You So Very Much, and Happy Birthday to You. We have got all of those. It's buy 3, get 3 free today on these ones. And again, they are types of ones that you can kind of use all year round. Obviously, happy birthday can be for anyone. And what I love with these two is I feel like there's no sort of gender connotation to them or age connotation to them. I feel like you could give, you know, a card, a happy birthday card like this, depending on what colours you use, to someone who's, you know, 7 years old or 107 years old. It's kind of a little bit of something for everyone. So it's one of those perfect all-rounders to get in your basket right now, whilst you've got 50% off them and an extra 10% to do seize the moment. These are really fun and quirky and eye-catching, aren't they, Corrine?
They really are. And people are going to look at them and say, how did you create that effect? And you created that effect by having these two stamps and your extra sentiments. Each word has the extra sentiments, you know, like wonderful to have you in my life. This is blessed to have you in my life, and you have the extra words that work so well with it. So what we need to do, and then you have, obviously, you have your die as well. I'm going to do this a funny way around. This is one of my mats and layers, and I'm going to cut this out of the centre of there. Because it's a mat and layer, you're not going to be able to see. So I'm going to pop this in my MIDI folder, and I'm going to bring in my MIDI machine, and I'm just going to cut that through. Now, I often do this to save on card. I'll often just get the, you know, use the a piece of my mat and layer to do some of my die cutting. So we've popped that through. Now look at that. Just because it's a manual machine, you are still going to get the perfect cut every time. You're still going to get that beveled edge, which is why I love die cutting so much. These obviously will go through your mini, but what you've got to remember is what size piece of card. Because I wanted to use a larger piece of card, obviously I couldn't go down to my mini machine, so I just went to my MIDI. So it's entirely up to you. So now I can make my card base. So all I've got is a 5x7 card base, so you can get that from your A4, and I've scored the front in half so I can create an easel card. So we can then do our mats and layers. Now remember, we were saying if your card is uncoated, then your collal glue is going to be perfect for adding on your mats and layers, because collal glue is really, really strong and it will dry quite rigid, and it means that you're going to get the perfect results. And because you get that wiggle room, so I can use the heat of my hands to make sure it is adhered absolutely perfectly. And then I've got the wiggle room, and I know that I'm going to get extra strength as well. It is just the best thing to use for your mats and layers. So we can pop that on here. I think this is from the Gnomes, this cardstock, so it's really lovely, really beautiful. Now, if the glue does eke out of the edges, and I had a little bit eking out down there, all you do is rub it off, and it will completely rub off. Yes, it dries clear, but you can see I had it at my fingers, I had a bit of the glue there. All you do is rub and it's gone. It's really clever. I think it's ever so clever. So then I've got a piece of white card to go onto the front, and I'm going to do exactly the same. Always glue onto the base so that you know where you want your glue to go. Put this just down here. You don't need lots. I'm just going in with the lightest of touches. Put that on there, and then pop in that one on. Oops, that's not very straight, but that's not a problem. I can straighten it back up. Just burnish that down. Now, you have seen me in the past get my brayer out. If I want to make sure everything is burnished really well, I'll often get my brayer out, which I think just works brilliantly. So we can then put the next mat and layer on. There we go, that's going to go just there. Just be a bit careful, because that one. And then on here. So no coated cardstock, so absolutely no problem using this glue. Like I say, because it's solvent based, you just need to make sure you're not putting it on your coated cardstock. So put that on, and again, I've got plenty of time to adjust and to burnish that down. So that should now be perfectly. It's just running my hands along means I'm smoothing that glue out, got no lumps and bumps, and I'm not got to worry that my card is going to wrinkle and cockle at all. So how about that? That is absolutely perfect for my mats and layers. So we've got our first bit done. Now we've cut out the blessed, and we now need to do our stamping. So I have got my stamps. Now we have put our quick dry ink is the best for this, because we're going to go in with one colour and then we're going to go in with a second colour after. So it's always best to use your quick dry inks. So we're going to come in here. So what I need to do first is I need to get my solid stamp. Now I need to make sure I've got that the right way up. Yep. So that's my blessed. And I'm going to pop it that way up on my cardstock. So I'm going to bring in my stamping platform. You could use your rocker blocks if you trust just, that you can, but I think for this, the stamping platform is probably the best thing to use. So I'm going to pop that onto there. I'm putting my stamp on first, because that's then going to show me where I've got space to add my magnets. So it's just the easiest way to do that. So we can pop that on there like that. And then I'm going to pick that up. Now, we have very carefully picked the inks that are available on the show today. We've put them on in pairs. So we've put you on 2 blues. I think these have got the right way around. We've got our ocean blue and our baby blue. So this means that you know that for these stamps, they're going to work perfectly. Now this is the ocean blue. So I'm going in with my palest colour first. So putting that on all over. Now, because it's a solid stamp, make sure you tap like that. Don't drag, because you'll get, not like brush marks, but marks from the ink pad. So just go all over. You can always go in with a second coat, because we're doing it on our stamping platform. Press that down, I can see that's blue now, and then I can apply that on there. So press that nice and firmly. Just go all over. Can you just about see the blue? It was because it's a nice pale, it was harder to see. There we go. And that, I stamped that. Now, looks a bit odd at this point, but don't worry, have faith in the process. I'm going to put that one down, and I'm going to grab my second one. Now, if you want to, you can actually, which I hadn't done, you could actually use your mat to line these up because they've got nice square corners. I don't tend to do that. What I tend to do is go back in and put these on just like that. I know that these are really easy ones to line up. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So we can then pick that one up, and then I'm going to go in, let's cover that up with my darker blue, to add in like that highlight, the bit that makes it look like it's going to pop. Always amazes me that these are quick dry inks because they're really juicy, aren't they? Can you see how much they ink up? They always feel like the juiciest ink pads, and I'm always like, well, how can they be quick dry? But they are. So I don't need to worry about that paler blue. I can then come straight in with my darker blue. Like I say, because I've used my quick dry inks, I know it's going to work. How about
Perfect.
There we go. Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Perfect, right? And proof as to why you need the stamping platform for this.
Yeah.
It's on your screen right now, and it is on an offer, 20% off.
Excellent.
Monday
So
mega
let's
deal.
take that off. So once you've got that off, let me move that out of the way. You can then come in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do the roughing up the edges. So I've got my little tool, my roughing up tool. So we can then just come round the edges, and I'm just, so all this is little blades, but it's really safe. And I'm just going to distress the edges a little bit. Just like that. It just gives a different effect. And we can do that. There we go. They just take a little bit of practice, but once you've, there we go, that's it. We've got the edge on there. So then I'm going to come in with my pale fig. Now I'm using my water reactive on here. So all I'm going to do is just come round the edge with my pale fig, just to add in a little bit of extra texture. There we go, just bringing that in there. Can you see that lighting up? Hopefully. There we go.
Miriam's just said, wow, that is an amazing look. It's really cool, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? And we haven't finished yet because I wanted to do this first, because then once we've got all of that onto there, what we're then going to do is I'm going to come in with my Blessed. I'm going to do it with my tape pen. Let's just take that off for a minute. And my tape pen. This is the Dotty tape pen, and it's brilliant for doing, you know, your intricate die cuts. And all I do is I run it across my die cut, and it will just pick up where there is paper. As long as you press light, it'll be brilliant. Don't try and press down, otherwise, yeah, you will get it all over your craft mat. But if you just do nice and light, let's turn that round, and you can see no stringy bits coming through there, and then that will pop straight over the top. And it's not until you put this on that it completes the look. Can you see how that now, so clever, isn't it? Look at that. That just completes it. It really does look dimensional. So let's take that, and then we can pop that onto our next mat and layer. Take that one, and that's going to go just on there, and then I can centre that up. Just give that a minute to grab. Just going to put that to one side while that grabs, so I'm just going to do this in a slightly different order. Oh, actually, let's do this. So I've got some ribbon, and I've got this. Oh, I should have tucked that in before I did. Never mind. So what we can use for this is we could use our tacky glue, or we could use our tape runner. I'm going to use my tape runner for speed. And then I should have put that on before I did my mats and layers, but we can get around that. We can take this. We can find the centre. What was this? 7. So I want 3.5, which is there, which is that point there. So let's bring that to there. Make sure it's straight. Bring that round, and then I'm just going to tuck that round there. There we go. And then I can then put, I've got my bow. Hopefully that's nice and dry now. So I want my foam pads. And again, we've got foam pads on the show. We've got all of your adhesives on the show that you might need. Pop that one on there. Oops. That one, and then just taking those off. I love how quick and easy it is to release foam pads from the Crafter's Companion foam pads. They are brilliant. Put that on just like that. Now my bow will go with all sorts, but I'm just going to go in with my glue pen, or tape pen rather. Pop that on, put that on just there. And then I've got my sentiment, which was stamped out from that stamp set too, on the blue cardstock, again with some foam pads, and then that allows me to put my card. I can feel where it sits nicely, and I can pop that on there. So the final little bit I might want to do, that's not very, look at that, that is not straight. Let's put that on straight now. There we go. Bring that down. And then I can just get my little gems. Let's see if these will stick straight on. Let's go top one. And there. If you've only got white pearls or cream pearls, don't forget you can use your alcohol pens to colour the pearls any colour you want, which I just think is a fantastic thing to do. And how about just putting that like that? How perfect is that?
Really,
there we go.
Really lovely. That's fantastic. Absolutely lovely. Pammy is saying, I love that Corrine is using the gnome Christmas paper. That's one of my favourite paper pads. Oh, Pammy, love that. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? Top two. If you had to choose just 2 paper pads, and that was it. That was it. 2. What would they be? Do feel free to message us in and let us know. We have got the shadow sentiments on screen right now with that 50% discount for you today and the extra 10% off code. We have got for you these wonderful designs. It's buy 3, get 3 free. So I've got You're a True Friend. As well as that, I've also got You're Thinking of You, the Most Wonderful News. We have Blessed to Have You in My Life, as well as Thank You So Very Much and Happy Birthday to You. Those are the ones that you're getting your hands on today at that half price deal. I've just had a message in from Susan saying, I was wondering, Becky, if you were ever an air hostess. Oh.
You've got quite expressive hands.
Well, thank you for that. That's not the reason Susan felt I was. Susan said, for some reason, when you talk, it makes me feel like I'm on a flight somewhere. Oh, well, thank you. No one's ever said that about me before. I'm too short to be an air hostess. You have to be a certain height, don't you? Don't know if you do nowadays. I know you used to back in the day, yeah. I wonder why maybe I could be an air hostess if it's no height restriction now, like a sort of ping pong. All right, ladies and lasses, look out your window. To the left is Grand Canyon. Oh no, that's more of a tour guide, isn't it? Need to work out what air hostess is. But thank you, Susan. Thank you very much. Yes, and also expressionless hands. Yeah. We have got for you today. Yeah. Would you like a very small wine? Very small wine. Meat or vegetarian? Oh no, I've nailed it.
Chicken or fish?
Chicken or fish? Chicken or fish. Anyway, we have got for you today a fabulous collection of treats. Not only our discount deals on the likes of our stamps and styles, but we've also got our Gemini 101, and we have got all of our Geminis. Let's go through and start with the big one. This is our Pro. This is your Pro plug-in die cutting and embossing machine. It comes with all of the treats you need and has the opportunity to cut 12 by 12. Oh yeah, it's a beauty. And today, discount deal. You're saving nearly £45 on this, which is mega. It is only available in the UK, just to let you know. I've also got for you the OG original Gemini. This one Again, one of our most popular. It is our original. It is our key feature one. It is one that you can use time after time, day after day. It is available, again, UK only on that one. Next one is the Junior. Now this is your US version that I've got for you on your screen right now. So it is US only. 10% discount on this one. But again, don't forget you get that extra 10% off with that discount code CTV10. I've got the Go for you now, the tiny but mighty machine. We're bringing it to you today with that 10% discount deal yet again, and it is just $125.95 US only for you. The MIDI has been popular. So if you do want to seize the moment, I would be pronto on it actually. We have got for you that wonderful discount deal again for you today. And again, this one is your manual machine, so you don't have to plug it in. Then I'm bringing to you your Mini. This one is your lovely, delicate Mini. All of the power still, yet, you know, at that price point, that is just so good. That really is like a Happy Tuesday present, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by that, because that isn't clear, is it's just like at that price, it's a. There's no real need as a reason to give you this gift, but just here you go. I have got actually next to me the MIDI and Mini. I thought it might be quite handy in case you knew, just to show you them next to each other to give you an idea of that side differentiation. So we've got your MIDI on your screen right now, and we're going to be talking about this with Corrine. So the MIDI itself,
yes,
it is really, really popular.
Oh, it really is. I mean, this has been so popular today because not everybody wants an electric machine, or you also want some, maybe you've got an electric machine, whether you've got the Gemini or the Junior or even the Pro, and you just want something, if it's, you know, something quick and easy to craft with, and this is going to fit perfectly. As we were saying earlier, it's got amazing suckers on the bottom, and it will sit on top of your other machines if you want it to. It's left-handed or right-handed there. I've got it on the right, for right-handed. If I was left-handed, I could turn it round and use it that way. Again, it's perfect for space saving. I'm right-handed, so I'm just going to put it down. And we were saying earlier, it is the power of the suction. You don't need to worry about it coming off your desk. If I press that down and then I lift up my machine, look at that. That's not going anywhere. Absolutely perfect. Now, this is a one-folder system. So you've got the one-folder, say one-folder system. Yeah, it's one-folder system, unless you're doing your embossing, but we'll cover that one in a minute. So all you need to do, it is the simplest, there's no worrying about plates. You've actually got 4 cutting plates with a folder, because you can cut onto this side, I could cut onto this side, I can flip it over, I can cut on that side, and I can cut onto that side. So this folder is going to last for ages. I would imagine, quite new here, so I've never actually seen, but I bet you could get replacement cutting folders for it.
You can indeed, yeah.
I thought you probably would be able to. Right, so let me show you. I have got a piece of card. This is just a piece left over from what we were doing a few minutes ago. Let's just move this out of the way because it's right in my way. So I can put my cardstock into my folder. I've got a couple of my silhouette flowers that we're going to be looking at later. And then I just put the lid onto my folder, and then I bring in my machine, pop it down, pop it to where it bites. I can just feel it biting, and then I can turn. Yeah, I can feel a little bit of a resistance, but look at that. I'm not holding it down. I'm just literally keeping my finger on the top because it makes it easier to steady. If you've not got a lot of room, you can also wind it back, but I'm absolutely certain that this will have cut. Look at that. Perfect. Don't think that just because it's a smaller machine. Now this is Censura Pearl, so it's got a coating on, but that has cut my floral element brilliantly. Yeah, I've got the little bits to poke out, but that's because it's Censura Pearl, not because of the die cutting machine. So maybe this is just one that you want to be able to say, actually, I love these florals. I want to be able to craft with them at the dining table, or I want to be able to get, as we were saying earlier, someone else involved, or you perhaps want, you know, to be able to get a processing line set up, you know, so you can be cutting as well. Now, the other thing you can do with this is you can also, where did I just put it? I put things down. So, there it is, it's under my folder. You can emboss with this. Now, don't push your embossing folder inside your plates. What we're going to do here is I've got my embossing folder, I've got some Centura pearl, pop my Centura pearl in there. Now that on its own isn't enough because this is a regular embossing folder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my extra plate. Now this comes with the machine, so you haven't got to worry about that. You haven't had to think, oh, have I got to buy extra plates? No, you've got them. I'm going to pop that through and then I'm going to come back the other way as well, just to bring it all the way back to me. And then you see that click, because that's it finishing. And then when I lift this out, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Don't think because it's a manual machine, you're not going to get the same results. The results are brilliant. Or I've got that's the deboss, but because of the type of chevron-y one, you can't actually tell. So that works brilliantly. So yeah, so you know, it is as good as your electric machine. It just is cordless. So the other one we were going to look at this is your Mini. Now this again is one, I truly have mine. If you saw me, I put some pictures on social media last night, and my Mini was sitting on top of my Gemini machines because I have this at home as well. So let's have a look. Let's go, let's get some, where's just regular black cardstock. Now you've got a smaller folder. So this folder is 3 by 6 inches long. So let's bring in my scissors. Where's my 3? There we go, there's my there, so I can trim that down. There we go. Let's just move that out of the way. So let's use those same dies. Oh, I've cut that a bit smaller than I needed to. Or you could be using, I was using one of my little butterflies earlier, so I can still get a couple of dies through here just by placing the, oh, let's make sure that they're within the folder. Let's pop that down. If I wanted to, let's put a little piece of, I'm going to put a piece of tape on because it's still got a lot of power in this machine. So I don't want my dies to overlap or to move. So let's just pop the lid down and then bring in my machine. Again, it's got the brilliant suckers on. Look, you can see I'm lifting up my glass mat with it. So I was only doing that one-handed. Then I can put that in, put my hand on the top, wind it all the way through. And that's cut there, and then I'm just going to wind it back again. You don't have to wind it back, but it's just, we often do that with our little manual machines. And then we can take that out and then look at that. Absolutely. Doesn't matter which of my machines I use, I'm still getting the perfect cut. What did I change over what I was cutting? But there we are. Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
So perfect. I love it. I don't think people realise how much a small manual machine like this they would use until they actually get it. Because you think, oh, I'm not going to. But just think of all those little sentiments, those flowers. If I had my foam here, I'd be able to cut my foam on that as well. All of those can go through there perfectly. Ooh.
And I always think with things like your Mini as well that, you know, it's good for when you want to craft and you need to be, you know, like quiet. You know, baby's asleep next door. You don't want the massive, you know, happening of your machine.
Or like a lot of us, we get up sometimes. You're a bit younger. I wake up at ridiculous hours in the night. I'm at that age where I have quite disturbed sleep at night. But I can get up and I can craft. And I'm not disturbing everybody in the house. So, yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And can we do what again? My impression of the Gemini? What? No, you're all right. But I know what you were thinking. You were thinking, who's just turned on that Gemini, weren't you? Uncanny. Uncanny. Another good thing about the Mini as well is that you've got the opportunity to literally take this wherever you want, right?
Of course, absolutely.
Bob it in the back of your car for those moments when, I don't know, like, you know, you're going camping or maybe you nip off at your mate's house and you've got stuff on. It's brilliant for that. Also, think about it, no lecky. Don't have to pay the electricity bills, which nowadays is very good.
Can you imagine if you're doing a craft fair and you've got your sentiment dies with you or your letters? That means that you could take that with you to a craft fair and you don't need the electric and you can personalise whatever anybody wants to buy off you because you can add in those extra, the mum, the dad, change it for a birthday or an anniversary. You can be so adaptable because you can take either your mini or your MIDI with you and do it on the spot.
Absolutely. And for craft fairs as well, you know, you're not just paying for the electricity, are you? You have to pay for the extension cords if you've done things like, you know, Ali Pali and Burley and all the rest of it. Then you do have to pay extras. With this, saving some pennies whilst making some pennies. And saving even more pennies today because you've got that 10% discount. But it's not the only discount that you've got. I've got you another 10% if you use the code CTV10. If you use that at your checkout, then you will get an extra 10% off as well. So, we have talked to you about all of our fabulous Geminis, but one that we know you absolutely adore is our Junior. The Gemini Junior has been one of our firm favourites here, and if you've not seen it before, ooh, get ready. This is just some of the magical things the Junior can do. Hello, welcome back. How are you? We are talking all about our fabulous Geminis, and we have got on screen for you right now the Junior. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, that's a 10% discount. You can have finally the opportunity to treat yourself today, and don't forget we've got that extra saver deal on with 10% off too. With the fabulous Junior, you can create wonderful cards such as the ones that we're about to vote on. Remind us, Corinne, what the cards we've made.
Right, so our first demo was with this gorgeous interlaced die, and we used the church. So we used the gorgeous church and we cut it into our cardstock. We just trimmed it down. Once we did it, we cut it again. We trimmed all the elements out and put that on the front. I'm looking at that and thinking, change the colours, and that's going to make the brilliant Christmas card as well. Then the second one we did was with our shadow sentiments. So we used the blessed to have you in my life, which I love on that. And I love that we've used the Gnomes Christmas paper, and that's got stripes on it. Just all those extra stripes, it just looks so dimensional. So that's a lovely little easel card. And those are the two that we've made today.
So all you have to do to get voting on your favourite is head on over to our socials, where the lovely Caitlin's looking after you, and vote for number 1 or number 2. I have just had a question in actually from Caitlin. Well, it's not from Caitlin. Caitlin's just passed it on. From the lovely Karen, saying, hi Corinne and Becky, I have the Gemini Go along with all of the others. But what power pack do I need for the Go, please?
Right, I think there's a power pack on the website that you can use for that. So all the details are on our website, so you can have a look on there. But I think it's just, as long as you've got a large power pack, it should be absolutely fine, because you get the cable and then it just attaches to your machine.
Yeah.
So yeah, so go and have a look on our website, and it will be on there. Maybe we might be able to find it for the next show when we do the Gemini 101.
Yeah, we can load that up for you if you want, Karen. But yeah, otherwise, just the battery packs that you would have for mobile phones.
Yeah.
So if you go on well-known search engine and just type in like, you know, like even like festival backpacks, battery packs for your phone and things, then they will be absolutely perfect, and they will just go and go and go and go and go. For the go. So thank you for that, Karen. We have got Deborah in, who's just chatting about the Mini, actually saying, I use my Mini a lot. I keep it close to my work area. That's perfect. Just like Corinne was saying earlier on, you don't know how much you use it maybe. So we have, as we've said, so many fabulous, fabulous Geminis on the show already. And we've had a lovely deep dive into most of them, apart from one, our largest ever die cutting machine. Corinne, what do you love about the Pro?
Well, the Pro, it just means I can do so much more, so much quicker. So absolutely perfect. So what you've got is you've got your 12 by 12 plates. If I put this on here, you can see, look at that. That is the full, oh, we have to come out, look at that. You can see it goes from 0 to 12 that way and 0 to 12 that way. It is the full 12-inch plate. So you still get exactly the same plates. You get your 2 cutting plates, you get your magnetic shim, you get your plastic shim, and you get your metal cutting plate. And I think you probably get your embossing sheet as well, but I just don't have that one here. So what this means is, you might say, why do I need it? Now, if you're getting, we do a few larger dies, such as this one here, which is our abstract jigsaw. Now, I could potentially, I'm going to put this underneath so you can see, I could get that on my regular Gemini plates, but look at that. It's right to the edges. So you're really, really going to push your Gemini to its absolute limits by putting that on there. So if you had something like the Pro, I can put that on there. Look at that. I've got space all the way around my, my die to be able to, you know, for the machine to take that. But then if I could get every die out I've got under here, and I could literally fill this plate full of dies if I wanted to. So I could be putting all my dies on here that I have got, and then I could just cut out 10, 20 dies all in one go, and then I would still put the same plate combination on there, and I can still use this for my embossing folders if I wanted to. So maybe you're doing words and you want to cut them out, and that's going to be perfect. Or maybe it's not that your dies are that much bigger, but the cardstock that you're cutting into is bigger. So that means that you can then lay your cardstock out on here and know that it is going to cut perfectly. This has got all of the power of your regular Gemini, your Gemini Junior, but it's got the much larger plates. So you get the 12 by 12, put my teeth back in, the 12 by 12 plates come with it, but I understand you can also buy like an extension pack of your 12 by 18-inch plates.
Yes,
so if you really want to cut an A3 sheet, so why would you want to cut into an A3 sheet? Imagine if you were trying to do a stencil and you wanted to do it out of cardstock. So you could get your A3 sheet, you could then put all the dies that you wanted to create your stencil onto there and cut it in one go. So, you know, or you could just be batch making. If I had the A3 sheet, I could have 2 jigsaws cutting out at the same time. How perfect would that be? It's just going to make your crafty life so much easier. And I love how we always put ours on the Lazy Susan, because I'm not going to lie, it is a heavy machine. It really, really is. But you've got the power inside it. That's what's making it so heavy, is the weight, is the power inside. So yeah, think about it. If you do a lot of die cutting and you do like to cut a lot of dies at once, or you like to cut larger dies, then maybe this is the one that you want. And I just keep looking I don't know about you, Rebecca, but you look at that and it was £449, and I'm looking at the platinum price, and then I'm thinking, well, actually, I'm going to get another £32 off there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be under £300.
Under 300 quid.
Under £300
With that 10%.
for a 12 by 12 cutting machine. It's the only domestic, when I say domestic, I mean, you know, hobby die cutting machine that I know of that size. I've never seen a domestic one bigger than A4 before, so it's just a brilliant addition to your die cutting family. It really, really is.
Most certainly. And if you do use that 10% discount code and you are platinum, surely that's the best ever price ever in the history of the Pro. Surely, surely. I mean, it's epic. Yeah, because it would be under 100 quid, so it'd be like £150 off. £150 back in your pocket. The exclusive code is now at the bottom of your screen, and just as a reminder, it is for today only, and it's a one-time deal, one per customer as well. One thing that we have been chatting about as well today are our essential tools, and we have got a real big essential here in the guise of our scissors. I'm bringing to you a pack of 3 of our scissors, and these scissors are not just any old scissors. I think when you're maybe new, you know, and I'll be honest with you, as I always am, I think when you're new, you might look at scissors and go, hey, up, I can nip down the shop down the road and get a set for a £5. Why am I going to spend extra on them? It's the longevity, and it's one of those things, it's buy cheap, buy twice, right? With these, the longevity of them, the quality of them, how accurate they are, how smooth they are, how they are resistant to things like rust and corrosion, the fact that they are made for crafting, for crafters, by crafters, means that you have got something that is going to last and last and last and do the job it's meant to, which not all scissors do. We have got for you the 3 different sizes. So here, I just show you are your size variations so that you have your idea there. So whether you're doing delicate, dainty work or you need to snip out large areas in a pronto, you have got that and everything in between with those different size blades. If you do want to seize the moment on these, we're giving you a 20% discount, but again, you can use that 10% code too. So you're getting 3 sets of scissors within that bundle. So well worth treating yourself to that whilst you have the opportunity to do so. We have had a winner through for card of the show. It's number 1.
Number 1. Oh, our interlace dies. Absolutely perfect. So we shall put that on the shelf and have a look, see which one comes through later.
Perfectamundo. Thank you very, very much.
pleasure.
And thank you everyone who voted on that one as well. Kathy says, I love my Pro. You can cut so many dies at once. Thank you for that, Kathy. So what have we got coming up on the show today? Well, we're going to be bringing to you the masterclass. What are we thinking in the masterclass?
Well, we're going to look at the machines, possibly in a little bit more detail as well. We're going to look at storage in a little bit more detail. We're going to look at tools in a little bit more detail. And we're going to look at glues in a little bit more detail as well. So I think there's quite a lot there to get our teeth into.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a good one if you've got anyone at home who's you know, always asking about, how are you making these cards? And how do you do this? How do you do that? Maybe this could be a good time to drop them a little message and say, hey up, we've got a masterclass on today in the afternoon, because that could be really, really helpful for them with everything that we're talking about. It's not just the interlace as in the masterclass, it's not just those that we're talking about. We've also got Monday Makers, where we're going to be bringing to you interlace. We've got these lovely silhouette florals as well. And we've also got the shadow settings as well that we briefly showed you, but we go much more into detail about it with the Monday Makers. And we've also got our stamping platform for you as well. So the stamping platform, which is our Monday Mega Deal, that is also available for you. I just want to remind you that you have got a special chance to get 10% off today and today only with this code at the bottom of the screen, CTV10. Corrine, thank you so much for this morning.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
We'll be back with you in an hour, of course.
Just time to go and have some lunch.
Absolutely. For us, for now, we'll see you in an hour. Bye-bye.